Hi, if you haven't already done so, take a look at my free app called Mind Balance. More information in the description below. What is stress? The official terminology for stress is a physical, mental or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension. In other words, anything that causes you any strain or tension to you physically or mentally is a form of stress. How does stress begin and how can we measure our stress levels? Now, if we have a line chart between 1 and 10 where 1 is the lowest amount of stress one could possibly attain and 10 being the highest, the average range of a normal person will be a 5. So anything between 1 and 5 is generally considered a good range. This is called the green zone. Sometimes people tend to go slightly above 5 and you may experience some strain slightly, but this is absolutely fine. Sometimes people tend to go above the range of 6 and tend to end up between 6 and 10. Now this is called the red zone. Being in the red zone for a long period of time and frequently will result to very high levels of stress. This will cause you issues and symptoms will affect you later. Have you ever been to a restaurant where the waiter comes out of the door with 2 or 3 plates in each arm? I always wonder how on earth is that possible. Now, if I was to hold 1 plate in each hand, I'll be absolutely fine with that. If I was to hold 2 or 3 plates in each arm together at once, those extra plates are going to fall on the floor. Therefore, I will only be left with 2 plates in my hands, and just out of anger, I'm going to throw those 2 plates against the wall. So you see how stress affects us. We want to carry more and do more because we think it will save us time. What happens is that we end up using that time we saved to rest because we are tired or stressed out. So are you really saving time? Now I have a question for you. Is stress bad for us? The answer is no. Stress is a good response mechanism. It helps us to understand what our limits are and where we need more practice in. Example, if I can only hold 2 plates and if I hold more, I get stressed out. This shows me I need more practice. So I can start with holding 2 plates and work my way up until I can hold 3, then 4. So this is what we do on a daily basis, and most people do this. They tend to be only able to hold 2 major tasks a day. Then we tend to take on more tasks. By the end of the day, we have done so many different tasks. And there are people who tend to do their weekly task in 1 day. So they think they will save them more time in the week. So what happens is that we end up with so many tasks or many plates on our arms that they end up falling, and those tasks are rushed with mistakes. Then our mind becomes busy with thoughts because we are thinking about everything else we need to do. So what happens is that the task that we are currently doing lacks concentration and focus. Why? It's because we are constantly thinking about what we need to do later, what we need to do next, or other tasks we have to do. This is the main reason why we get stressed. It causes tension to our mind. By thinking about all these other things and tasks we need to do, we tend to make mistakes. This is done by rushing, by carrying too much, by doing too much, by thinking too much. Why? It's because we want to save time. So we end up doing all these tasks together. We don't split them up. If we did split them up in different days, 1 task at a time, we are able to concentrate completely on that specific task. This allows us more concentration and more energy to do a task. Therefore, those tasks result to being easier and simpler, which causes less stress and tension to you. Remember, stress is good for us until we reach our red zone. Overloading ourselves with too much stress will cause us issues in the future. So, how do we know when we are reaching our limits of stress? How do we know when we have hit that limit? How do we know when we have entered the red zone? For this, we need to understand what the signs are. Please take a look at my next session on what are the signs and symptoms of stress. If you have any questions, comment below and I will see you in my next session.